is Dr. Z, and I am out here on this cold winter-like morning to share with you a story that I think you'll find really helpful in your parenting. I want to ask you a couple questions. The first one is, have you ever been in an argument with somebody where you feel like their reaction was completely over the top? Or has your son or daughter ever said to you that you are completely overreacting? Well, I want to share a story with you that will illustrate maybe what that's all about. Because chances are, if you've had that kind of experience, you've been fighting with the pattern versus fighting with the person. Let me tell you a little bit about what I mean. So, a couple weeks ago, a friend of mine and her daughter came here to ride a couple of these horses. And typically the horses come up to them, but on this particular day, the horses were not cooperating. And so they were trying to round them up, and the horses were running around, and eventually the mother's horse came to her, but the daughter's did not. And so the daughter wanted to go get her secret weapon, which of course is hay, so she could attract the horse to her. But the hay was clear over there across the field and would take a few minutes to go get. The mother thought, well, since the one horse is already with us, I'm sure the other horse will come soon as well. But the daughter felt like she needed to go get hay. So as she was walking off, the mother stopped her and said, hey, well, leave your halter here, because if the horse comes up, I want to be able to put the halter on. And the daughter said, no, I want to get my own horse. And so the daughter went off, and sure enough, the other horse came up to this mother, and she was at that time right over here by this fence, and there was a lead rope on the fence. And so she just took the lead rope and put it over the horse's neck so that she could keep the horse close by for her daughter when she came back. Well, when her daughter came back, as you might guess, she was not happy. And she expressed that to her mom, and her mom simply explained why she did it and essentially told her it wasn't a big deal. Well, that just made her daughter all the more furious. So much so that she just took off and walked home. Well, that night I was playing pickleball with this mother, and afterwards she shared the story with me, and she said, hey, Brian, was I at fault? And I think the reason she asked that was because she had done something she felt was helpful, and her daughter had overreacted, gotten angry, and walked off. And I want you to think about how you would answer that question. I invited the mom to think about for a second, what was the daughter really upset about? And in my mind, it wasn't about the fact that she had gotten her horse for her. Rather, it was about the fact that her daughter had clearly set a boundary with her, and then her mom completely blew off that boundary and did what she thought was best. Now, when I shared that with the mother, she actually smiled and said, you know what? We actually aren't very good at respecting each other's boundary. And right there is the pattern. That's what the daughter was fighting for. She wanted her mom to respect her boundaries instead of continue to ignore them. So she was fighting to stop that pattern. So the invitation to you today is fairly simple. Next time you're in an argument where one or both of you seems to be overreacting, step back and ask yourself, is there a pattern? Is there a pattern that we're fighting with? Because it's probably not about whatever the issue is at hand at the time. And if you can identify that pattern and start to address that, it's a game changer. Good luck to you. I hope this was helpful. See you next time.